Hey guys, it's Miss Sieber here. So today we're going to review how to divide large numbers with an area model, and some of our problems are going to have remainders. So we're going to jump right into it. So here is something that I have created for our notes. If you need to add to your notes or take away from your notes or change something, here's something that you can use to help you do that. So a factory has 2,125 DVD players to ship to electronic stores. They ship 4 DVD players in each box. How many full boxes can they ship? My question is asking me how many full boxes can they ship? How many full boxes? If they have 2,100 DVD players, 2,125, DVD players, that's my total number of DVD players. And they're going to put 4 in each box. So 4 plus 4 plus 4, and so on and so forth until I get to 2,125. But I know that I don't want to continuously add or subtract. That would take a really long time. So I'm going to divide 2,125 divided by 4, which equals blank. Remember, this first number is called our dividend. If you don't have that written in your journal, you probably need to write it in your journal. Our number that we're dividing by is called our divisor. And the answer that we get is called the quotient. So I'm going to start by creating an area model. So I'm going to draw my rectangle. Remember, it needs to be kind of long and skinny. And then I'm going to put all of my parts where they need to go. So the total goes in the middle. My total is my dividend here, 2,125. My part that I know, the divisor, goes on the left side, and my star part's on the top. That's going to be my quotient. Those are all the parts that I'm going to add together to get my final answer. So now we need to take our division sentence and flip it into a multiplication sentence. I created my area model. I'm going to write the multiplication sentence that we're going to be thinking. I'm going to include the star so I know where all of my star parts are. So I know that my divisor and my quotient get multiplied together to get my total. So I'm thinking 4 times something gets me close, but not more than 2,125. And all of these parts here are going to be my star parts. So I'm going to jump right in. Let's try 4 times 1,000, because I know I need to get into the thousands. Well, that's too big. 4 times 1,000 is 4,000, so I can't use that. Let's half it and try 4 times 500. You know I like to start with 1s, 2s, and 5s. If I mark out my zeros, I have 4 times 5, which is 20. Add my 2 zeros to the end, and I get 2,000. That is pretty close to 2,125. So I'm going to use my star part, 500. It's under my star. That goes on the top with my stars. I'm just matching up the stars. Then my total, 2,000, goes in the middle. And I subtract. And I get 125 left over. So I'm going to move over the 125. That's my new total. So now my thinking is 4 times something gets me close to 125. Again, all of these are going to be my star parts. So I know if I start with 4 times 100, that's too much. That's way too much. So if I half that, 4 times 50, that's still too much. I got to get to 125. So I'm going to try 4 times 30. Mark out my 0. 4 times 3 is 12. Add my 0. 120 is pretty close. So I'm going to use 30. 30 is my star part. It goes on top. And my total is 120. And I'm going to subtract from 125, and I have 5 left over. So I'm going to move that 5 over. I can still put more groups of 4 if I have 5, but I know that I can only fit one group. 4 times 1 equals 4. 1 is my star part. I'm going to subtract 4, and I have 1 left over. So I know I cannot put any more groups of 4 if I have 1. So 1 is going to be my remainder. I'm going to go ahead and write my remainder up here so I don't forget about it. Now, I've started my brain dump, total in the middle, star part on top. I subtracted totals, moved the new total over, and I've repeated steps 3 through 6 until my divisor is 0 or less, my quotient, my total, is less than my divisor. Now I'm just going to add all the star parts up. 531, so I get 531, remainder 1. All right, your turn. I want you to do 5,783 divided by 6. Pause the video, get your whiteboard and marker, solve the problem, and then check your work with my work. But remember, when you're checking your work, your star parts don't have to be the same as mine. So look at the answer that you got. Check your answer. If your answer doesn't match mine, then look to see if you can find your mistake. Okay, I'm going to start solving. I'm going to create my area model. Total goes in the middle. That's 5,783. The divisor goes on the left and stars on the top. Now I'm going to turn this into multiplication. I know that that's going to be 6 times something, gets me close but not more than 5,783. These are all my star parts. So 6 times 1,000 is 6,000. It's just a little too big. So I'm starting my brain dump. This number is going to have to get a little bit smaller. I'm going to try 900. 6 times 900. I'll mark out my zeros. 9 times 6 is 54. Add my 2 zeros. That works. So I'm going to use 900. Now remember, if you don't know your 9's facts very well, maybe you go to 500 and that's okay. 5,400 goes here. And I subtract my totals. 3 minus 0 is 3. 8 minus 0 is 8. 7 minus 4 is 3. Now I'm going to move my new total over. So 383 is my new total. And repeat steps 3 through 6 until total reaches 0 or total is less than the divisor. So I'm going to keep going with my brain dump. So let's try 6 times 50. 6 times 5 is 30. Add my 0. That works, 300. So I'm going to use the 50. 50 is going to go here. It's my star part. 300 is my total. And I'm going to subtract. And I get 83 left over. Move it over. Repeat steps 3 through 6 until the total reaches 0 or less than the divisor. So my number here has to be less than 6. So let's see. Let's see what 6 times 12 is. 6 times 12 is 72. That's pretty close. I'm going to use 12. It's my star part. 72 is my total. Subtract. I have 11 left over. Well, I know 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 is too big, so I have to use 1. 1 is my star part. Oop, forgot to move my total over. And I'm going to subtract 6, and I have 5 left over. 5 is less than 6, so my remainder is going to be 5. Go ahead and put that up there so I don't forget. And now I just have to add my star parts. 900 plus 50 plus 12 plus 1. Well, 12 and 1 is 13. And 50 and 13 is 63. And then add my 900 in, I get 963, remainder 5. All right, so if you need support, ask. You can look back at this video. Make sure you have your steps in order and you're following those steps each time. Good luck, and I will see you this afternoon.